Session 480. Deleted. Good evening. Now, if our friend feels fully productive, exuberant, and free to use his abilities, then he will be entirely healthy. He has overemphasized limitations in the past, of all kinds, and this has led him to deny many of his own positive characteristics. This concentration upon the negative. Now, some of this he picked up from you, and then exaggerated. Much of this attitude in passing now. I suggest, however, that you continue your own prayer periods, as you have been doing them. Rupert, during his period, should imagine feelings of exuberant energy and inspiration, general feelings of release and freedom. Let him play again with himself, however, as to how long he can honestly forget his symptoms in daily activity. Do not give them extra energy through concentration. In his prayer periods, emphasize that his full attention can go into his work and creative endeavors. This automatically takes energy away from the symptoms. Rob asked, have the prayer sessions been doing any good? Seth said, they have indeed. Now, give me a moment, and a long moment. Concentration should not be upon feeling well enough in the morning to do something he wants to do. It should be upon the thing he wants to do, and away from the physical condition. When he feels his full enthusiasm bubbling up in his work, he will not need to give himself suggestions that he will feel well in the morning. The inner self will see to it that he does. Health should be considered then, and this is important. As a means to a desired end, for productive creative work, for use of abilities, daily enjoyment, helping others. When he focuses upon health itself as such, he over-concentrates. Health as a means to extend performance in fields that are important to him. Health as a means to use those abilities with which he has been honored. Health as a means to bring joy to himself and hence to others. Health as a source of strength that is available always to help him use those abilities and to fulfill his destiny here, now. Now, this information will help in the most important way, to help him get over those blocks still operating. Health as a means of allowing creative energy to flow through him. Give us a moment. This will drastically reduce his concentration on symptoms. He can imagine health as a means also of showing others, of setting an example. Now, he was frightened to some degree of the sudden reduction of tension. This refers to Monday and Tuesday. He is used to being armed for battle. There is no battle, and that is the secret. In the past, the reaction would have lasted much longer, however, and considering that he had it at all, he did not succumb to anything like the same extent. The focus again now, therefore, in his prayers, should be on feelings of peace, tranquility, safety, and joy in creativity. He need not fight invisible enemies, nor brace himself against them. This sort of focus, for his personal make-up, will bring about a quicker complete recovery. Now, you have the season on your side. Give me a moment. Now, if you will touch him affectionately, or speak in such a manner, when the two of you first awaken, this gentle reminder of our love and affection will be of great help, particularly on awakening, and you have helped him immensely through such gestures and affirmations. It is safe for him to relax. This is the important point. I am trying to delve into questions concerning the bedroom. Try this. Now, a north-south direction is still best, as I told you. But with the bed now out further toward the center of the room, with space on either side of it, you see? So it is open and is not against the wall. The doors open so that the light from the other rooms, from the windows, is available. Rob noted. Long pause. For many months now, our bed has been in an east-west position. Seth said he should put into the bedroom objects that have particular value for him. I do not mean furniture necessarily, but the bedroom is devoid of the favorite objects he keeps about him in this room. Rob noted the living room. Seth said he feels that such objects are protective, and since he is without these, he feels more vulnerable. Rob noted we were interrupted by a telephone call. It was from Bill, in California. After I hung up, we decided to make it a break time. During break, I voiced a question. My question had to do with the various kinds of experience thought by the inner self. I wondered, with some apparent irritation, why Jane's inner self would permit such a detriment as the symptoms to continue for so long. Once the experience of the illness had been gained, it seemed to me it made better sense for the inner self to terminate the particular experience and move on to others. I thought there were many more valuable kinds of experience to be had in many kinds of healthier, more creative endeavors, instead of letting the symptoms interfere with Jane's attempt to perform such creative endeavors. Seth said, Now, I told you in our last session that the inner self will not take over entirely. In this particular case, built up negative attitudes of years standing set up negative patterns that prevented the most creative parts of the self from using their natural potential. Now, there are distinctions to be made. The negative patterns, many of them, came from conscious deductions made about the nature of reality. They sifted down into the personal subconscious layer, causing blockages here that prevented even deeper areas of the self from giving necessary help. The subconscious, personal subconscious layer became blocked with debris that sifted down from the conscious layer. The personal subconscious then acted like a lid, blocking off the healing energies that came from below. Now, your book uses the term subconscious to cover the whole inner self. Those healing abilities, that exuberance and the love of life, is from a deeper layer of the self. There is no doubt in this deeper layer that full abilities will be used, and the potentialities carried out, and there is no time to this portion of the self. There is no desperation there. Rob noted, this also irritated me. Rob said, Well, It knows part of the personality is involved with time law, doesn't it? Seth said, it does indeed, and it continues along all lines available to it. If it is cut off in one area, it will find another. Now, the reversal of the negative trend has already taken place, so openings are available. But both of you are over-anxious, and even you concentrate too much upon what seems to be the enormity of the difficulty, or Rupert's present predicament. Ralph said, it's rather difficult to avoid. Ralph noted, more irritation on my part, I felt, and still do as this is written. That Seth gave only a partial answer to the original question, concerning the purposes and awarenesses of the inner self. I intend to press for a more complete answer. Seth said, it is exactly what you must avoid, and what you tell Rupert he must avoid, for it does reinforce the present condition. You both have a tendency to concentrate upon remaining symptoms, or intensified ones, and to give little attention to the improvements. It is as if the improvements did not exist, and they do. That is an important sentence. You are both concentrating on the remaining symptoms, and the improvements escape you. You do not give energy to them, nor look for them. You look for the remaining symptoms. You do not add reality, physical reality then, to improvements as they first show. You do not nurse them expectantly as you would a seed. You concentrate on the part of the plant that is not doing as well. Ralph asked, what are you supposed to do in a case like Tuesday morning? Ralph noted, when Jane's symptoms were intensified following the exceptionally relaxed state of Monday night, no matter what improvements may have taken place. As Seth states, during such times, it is very difficult to be aware of anything but the present. Seth said, now, there will be more improvements as you look for them and notice them. This is as important as any information I have given you. As far as the Tuesday episode, in such a case, recognize that negative attitudes entered in. Take it for granted they are already dissolving, and the impediment was temporary. Do not let such an episode throw you into panic. Rupert is aware of certain thoughts that helped cause the episode, and he will tell you. Ralph noted, panic is not the right word exactly. Anger would be better. I felt the episode was unnecessary. This is being typed on May 10th, 3 days after it was held. So far, Jane hasn't said anything about what caused Tuesday's episode. They said, it is extremely vital that you look at him for signs of improvement, and that this takes your interest. You have told him not to concentrate upon his symptoms, and yet you also have a tendency to do so. There is nothing that can work against your desires more. This leads to a sense of desperation and undermines your confidence. I cannot stress this too strongly. If you find yourself doing this, it would be better to drop any emphasis on health specifically. Do you follow me? Ralph said, yes. Seth said, now you may take your break or ask me questions if you prefer. Ralph said, no. Ralph noted, this was the end of the session. I was not happy. One thing led to another, and we did not resume the session.